In the next few minutes, I'll share with you the biggest lie I told myself coming out of my toxic relationship. And at the end, I'll share with you what I did that broke me free from this particular lie forever. I remember it like it was yesterday. March 2022, I was moving along with my life after having been about 2 months divorced from my ex-husband. It was a very toxic relationship, very toxic marriage, and I was happy to be finally going along my way. So I cut off the utilities that were in my name and I moved on out the apartment. Except there was a particular issue that happened in April, the very next month of 2022. I got some type of notice from a particular cable provider. I won't be naming that company, but that cable provider shared with me you had not actually turned off the utility with us, and therefore you have a late fee. And I thought to myself, I know I went directly into the store of this place and told them I'd like to discontinue my service with that company, and I was told that that was what happened. Obviously, that was a very frustrating situation, especially when you're already coming out of a toxic relationship that you had been in some years, and you're just working through a breakup. So this is a lot at one time. One thing that came to my mind was, how about you just reach out to your ex-husband and let him know the situation and ask him to cover that bill? And something I was like, no, don't do it. It was so tempting because I just wanted to be rid of that bill, not worry about it anymore, just go on and be free with my life of no more worries. And but I also knew at the same time I did not want to contact him, and I also knew it was important for me not to contact him, because if I'm trying to move on with my life and not have any involvement with him, especially given that he was emotionally abusive, especially during the latter part of the marriage, I needed to not try to contact him. So the biggest lie I told myself coming out of the marriage and around at that time was that I needed him to help take care of some things for me. And I had to talk myself out of it, and I was so glad I did. What I ended up doing was just going along, whatever, receiving the notices. And eventually that bill rolled over to one of those debt collectors, right? And then I was getting these threats about, oh, this is going to go on your credit report and whatnot. But ultimately, it never did, because I believe the amount was under $100. I'm not sure what the rules are about that. But then eventually, at some point, that company went away. But by the time that had all resolved, it probably was maybe 3-4 months later, I was super glad that I had not indeed gone and contacted my ex-husband to ask him to take care of that bill. And indeed, I was going to be fine living on my own, moving forward with my life. And I felt relieved. So what I had to do was keep moving forward and keep believing that everything was going to work out itself, especially when I knew I did the right thing in that situation in the first place. And the cable company was just up to one of these little gimmicks of trying to keep people on a contract after, someone who was a representative for their company had already told me that, yes, you are indeed done with us, when I walked into their store that one particular day. So I'm so glad I held to my guns, my commitment to myself to move forward, to not be in contact with someone who was abusive toward me and who I did not want to be in contact with again. And if you're a person who's in a similar situation, it could be any variation of this story I said, or it could be something very different, but you're feeling like, hey, I need this person. Think again, think of your strength, think of your capabilities and all that you accomplished before that, allowed you to progress forward and say, hey, I can do this. I can move forward. Remind yourself of that in this time as well, and do what's best for you. I promise it's going to be the best decision that you made for yourself, especially when you're looking back. You're thinking, wow, I told myself that lie, but I allowed myself to defeat that lie and not allow it to be true in my life. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think. Also, if you're interested in chatting with me about some of your own concerns, especially if you're coming out of a toxic relationship and you just want to talk it out with someone, I'm more than happy to speak with you. Just check out the link in my description, and I look forward to catching up with you. Talk to y'all next time on the next video. Bye.